does feel like coming back to an old friend. But I think it may have even been a better experience than what I get with the T598. What's it like coming back to a wheel like the T300 RS once you've exclusively got used to using a wheel like the Thrustmaster T598? That's what I'm going to find out in this video. Now, I've had my T598 now for just over 5 months, and that's all I've used for driving games. I've not actually used this cab for like 5 months, which is a bit of a shame. Designed it and built it myself. It is arcade based, but it's an awful lot of fun to use, and this is where my T300 is housed. So first time coming back to games like Assetto Corsa, F124, Gran Turismo 7 and more. I'm going to try all of them out and give a quick opinion of how good I still think the T300 is on those games, or how bad it is. Is the T598 so good it makes this feel completely redundant? I did say in my initial review of the T598, the T598 felt like a different world to this, but does that still hold true? Because the thing is, when you get anything new, you get that sort of honeymoon period where it's a new gadget, it's a new thing, it feels good, it feels fun, and you can sometimes just exaggerate a little bit, get a little bit excited by the new gadget feeling, and maybe overdo the difference between one thing and the other. So what I'm doing today is go back to the T300 for the first time in 5 months and give my absolute honest opinion of how good or bad I think it actually is now become completely accustomed to using the T598. So let's jump in. I'm going to try a few different games. I'm going to start off with Assetto Corsa. I do remember this being really, really nice with the T300 RS. So let's drive straight in. It does feel like coming back to an old friend, sitting into this retro style arcade machine, which I designed and built myself, by the way. But let's go. Nice and strong for a start. Wow. I do remember this game being really, really good with the T300 RS though. But my initial feel, it's really good. It's like, I was kind of expecting it not to be as good as this. The road feel is really good, the tension in the wheel is good when I'm going around a corner. I can feel when the tyres are slipping out. I'm going to lose it and I'm not. Wow! I was not expecting to be this surprised by how good the T300 RS still is. This has come as a big surprise to me. I'm not saying I still don't love the T598 because it is like super smooth and does give some really nice feedback, but it just shows there's still life in the odd dog. Yeah, it's still a really good wheelbase, this T598. Right, I'm going to jump out of here and try a different game because this Assetto Corsa is probably as good as it gets for the T300 RS. It is really, really nice for this. I do remember it being absolutely fantastic with this wheel, and that feeling when you went around the corner was absolutely awesome. And you can feel the road texture and the road surface as you're belting down the straight. Some nice feedback there as you're coming down there. This is like a fair challenge as well because my other race cockpit I've got upstairs, that's bolted down as well. The T598 is bolted down the same way as this is. I mean, you can hear the fans coming on with this, which is one thing. There's an advantage of the T598 as well as the strength and smoothness is completely quiet. And I'm not really noticing the notchiness of this. I say notchiness, like this is like a belt driven wheel. That's really good feedback there. But even with the sound on a moderate volume, you don't really hear the oh, it's so good. The sound coming from the belt mechanism of this. But anyway, I'm going to have to pause it there because I've forgotten how to work this wheel. I haven't used it for a while. But that was really good. Let's jump into a different game. Right, so let's try a bit of Gran Turismo 7 next. Right, so let's come up to finishing a lap with the T300 RS on Gran Turismo 7. And yeah, it's good. Wouldn't say it has a natural feeling, and realistic as the feeling you get from the T598, but it's still decent. I'm just still surprised by how good this wheel was. When I first tried the T598, I was like blown away by how smooth it was, how strong it was, how quiet it was, and all those good things about it. I did say at the time it was actually a different world from this, and in certain ways it is, but coming back to this wheel, what, 5 months later, so you can still feel those little details, you can still catch them and things like that. Really good. And it's strong as well. It's not, I thought I was going to notice the strength difference a lot more than what I am. And it's still a really good experience. Right, let's try another game. Right, next up, F124. Now, I was going to put on my SF1000 for this, because obviously the wheel diameter and the way the wheel works is just way better for this kind of game, but I remembered I've got my adapter on here for the T598, which is great for the T598, but a nightmare when you want to take it off again to put on something like the T300, because once this thing's on there, it's on there for keeps. You can get it off, but it's a real struggle, and it feels like you're going to do damage to the wheel eventually, which you don't want to damage an expensive wheel like this. So that is staying on there. I'll put a review to this, a link rather, in the description below, because I did do a video on this about why I cannot recommend that adapter, but I'll still get a good feel of what this game is like with the T300 after being very familiar with it, the T598. So we'll still get a good idea. Let's see what we think, even though my lap times will be bad because the diameter of this wheel does change how quickly you turn and things like that. But you're still getting some nice sensations through the floor of the car, if you know what I mean, through the tyres. How it feels like you're adhered to the road. So you can go over a couple of rumble strips and stuff. Yeah, not as good, I'd say, as the T598, not as much detail going on, but still a good experience. It's not bad. It's like I was expecting to come back to this wheel and honestly think it was kind of a little bit diabolical kind of thing. Like, oh my goodness, like the difference is so huge. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's still really good. And like I say, I'm going to do a future video on this where I'm going to do a bit more in depth of this on in that future video. I'm going to play as many race games as I've got on both systems, this one and the one upstairs with my T598, but directly moving from one to the other. I'm going to literally just play on one, say the T598 first, on Gran Turismo, and come downstairs and immediately switch to the same track, the same car, the same conditions, everything, using this, and see what we think and see which game gave the overall a better experience and by how much, because most people are thinking, yeah, the T598 should be better, it should win pretty much on everything all the time, but how much as well is important. It's like if it just is a tiny bit better in one game than the other, that helps people decide if it's worth the overall outlay if they're thinking about upgrading from something like this to a T598. So that's definitely going to be a future video, but this is still a good experience. It really is a lot of fun still. I'm enjoying it. Right, well, there it is, coming back to the T300 RS 5 months after exclusively using the T598 on its own, and I've got to say I was really surprised by how good I thought this wheel really was. Being sure it was lacking some kind of detail in certain games, but in other games, especially Assetto Corsa, it was mind-blowingly good still. Like, so good, I think it may have even been a better experience than what I get with the T598. But I'd have to go back and check on that, because I haven't played Assetto Corsa on the T598 for a while, but it was stunning on this. I was like really surprised how good it was, which has just given me an idea to remind about the video idea I've had for the future, where what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I've got the same games set up on this rig using the T300 as I have on my upstairs rig using the T598. Then using the same car, same track, same conditions, I'm going to basically play one game. I've got various games I can play on this. I can play F1 24, Dirt Rally 2.0, Dirt 5, Gran Turismo 7, WRC Generations, Forza Horizon 5 and more. So, and I'll move from one cab to the next, so I'll get a direct idea of what it's like using each wheel with a very small time gap in between, no more than a couple of minutes kind of thing, and then I'll score each one for feel, experience and things like that, and just how good overall the actual game was using each particular wheel. Because like I said earlier, or highlighted on earlier, it's like I don't think the gap is as big on some games as it is on others, and that is really important. Because if, for example, you only play Assetto Corsa, or that's one of your main games, then you're going to think this wheel is amazing. Yes, you're still going to appreciate the T598 because it is silky smooth and it's got that lovely quick change of the wheel and it's really quiet and all those things as well. But the actual force feedback itself on Assetto Corsa is actually amazing. So I think it's a pretty good or cool idea to actually play all those different games and rate them from one to the next of the T598 versus the T300, and then that'll be in a future video. But yes, coming back to this old wheel did surprise me, and it's actually a kind of made me quite happy, because I didn't want to come back to this cab and think this wheel was now redundant. It's absolutely fantastic to me that as good as a T598 is, this is still viable and still a really good experience and fun to use. And I'll put all those details in a future video, playing all those different games, moving from one wheel quickly to the next. But there's this one. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.